Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another edition of the greatest podcast in all of professional wrestling. That's right. I'm talking about the Three Count Podcast Network, Chaz and Friends. Now, before I bring in my friends, let me get this off my chest. Look, so we were in Brussels this week, right? John Cena, Cody Rhodes facing off. Did they cement Cody Rhodes as the next John Cena? Is he the guy? Also, we're talking Swerve Strickland and AEW. He said AEW has made Punk, Cody Rhodes, I'm trying to think, Jade Cargill, and other superstars bigger than WWE ever did, saying that they have more value being in AEW. And I think that might be the spiciest take this week. Or is he actually kind of right? But look, we'll talk about that. And also, last but not least, since we're talking hot takes, let's not act like John Moxley bleeding every week is some new crime in wrestling. All right? Mick Foley, Terry Funk was bleeding buckets and got flowers. Mox does it, and it's always eye rolls and Twitter fingers. So what is it? Is it a double standard or is it just fatigue? Okay, I got temp check as well. Always Damien's dumbass of the week. You already know. Holla at your boy! Run that intro.
The following program is a collection of idiots talking about happenings in the sports entertainment world. It is meant to be comedically informative. The opinions expressed on this show does not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their bosses, platform, or whatever network they are on. There may be some out-of-pocket things said on this show, because this is how we talk to each other. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further. Your homies. The 3 Count Podcast. P.S. Please do not sue us.
It's your boy, your nephew, your cousin. It's the Don. Chaz Evans, you're checking out the hottest podcast in the world, the 3 Count Podcast.
Hit him with a 3 count. Pin him to the ground and the crowd go wild, man down, know what y'all like. Hit him with a 3 count. On the top row, crowd already know how I fly him to the flow like. Hit him with a 3 count. And your boy real chicken.
It's your boy. It's your cousin. It's the Don of the Capital Region and the Mid-Atlantic's best kept secret. I'm your host of the greatest debate show in all of professional wrestling. I'm Chaz Evans, and welcome to Chaz and Friends.
It's fair.
Chaz and Friend, which is the Chaz and Red Dog show, ladies and gentlemen. New special right here, but it's just me and the dog. So, like I said, it's not about me. It is about my friends. Friend. Let me introduce to you. He's the man that run this show, because quite frankly, I really don't do anything. I actually did a lot of work today, so I can't say that today. But, hey, he's the man that's interviewing all the hottest wrestlers in the industry. He's the guy, he's that guy that's getting all the exclusive interviews that your favorite podcasters aren't getting, okay? Your favorite muscle man's not even getting a Drew Gulak interview. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the current and reigning HWF Extreme Champion. He is also your current and reigning and defending SNW Infinite Plus Network Champion. And he is the only 2024 Trainer of the Year. He is the Red Dog!
Said, Orale. ¿Cómo estás todo mi gente? I'm just, it's for Chaz. It's strictly for Chaz because if you know, you know. If you know, you know. Also, I just wanted to keep it proper because normally I'm up here in a hoodie and stuff like that, but Chaz came here dressed to impress, like he just got out of church. So I was like, yo, let me put on my Sunday finest too. So I'm like here wearing a sweater just to match the energy. That's all. That's all it is.
It's a great thermal t-shirt. It's nothing fancy. I just was like, I'm not gonna throw a wrestling shirt on. I'm not changing.
Nope. I couldn't let you feel like you was the only person that was like outside of Pretty Ricky. So I was just like, hey,
Oh my goodness.
that Pretty Ricky, Ricky.
Can we
Pretty
leave that on Twitter?
What?
Can we leave that on the app? Like, leave that on the app. I know, like, don't put your beef, okay, with everyone in the IWC with me. Okay. All right. I don't want to put any specifics out there. I'm not trying to make it a thing, but yeah,
Very
keep
much.
that over there. I got strays this morning. I woke up, you know, after my wonderful sleep after, becoming a two-time EWA Tag Team Champion, and I didn't even have to lift a finger. It's just great being a champion, like my man's Cliff over there. He's got 2 belts. Hey. Look, I got 2 belts now. It's just look. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. So I woke up and I caught strays, and I was upset. You know, I'm just gonna hold it just because I'm excited. I'm gonna hold it because can't nobody take it from me now. Um, yeah, I caught strays on Twitter from people online, and it just I didn't like it. I didn't like it. So let's keep that there. Don't bring that on the show, okay? And if you're watching the show, you know who you are. Don't bring that foolishness up into my studio today. Save that for the villains lounge. Go be act foolish over there. If you haven't done so, go back, check out our past live streams. You can watch the Villains Lounge. Villains Lounge was back this past Thursday night. Special guests, the SWA Superstars, the main event actually. Yours truly, the Red Dog, was a part of that. Tomahawk and the Goat. I call him the Goat, but yeah, the Goat and Dino. They're going to battle it out for the Crown Championship April 12th right there at Shady Grove, Pennsylvania. If you're in the area and you're not busy doing anything, go check it out. Pure Ignorance will be there because I'm going to hurt someone. Like, that's the only thing that I can say legally and on the show that I won't get in trouble for. But that's what's going to happen. I'm going to hurt somebody. Um, Prince Machiavelli's on the show. He's going to win the Showcase Division Championship. Trying to think who else is on the show. Zenith and
Harley.
Harleen. I'm picking because I saw Damon picking. Let's do picks too. Who you picking, Cliff? Why not? We're here. Just why not? Who you picking?
I'm picking my Latin sister, man. Yeah, Harleen Lopez. That's.
Well, I'm gonna pick the opposite of you. I'm picking Zenith.
That's crazy.
She's doing it for the mommies. So I'm picking Zenith. Who you got? Who you got for the Showcase Division Championship? Mason Walls, Prince Machiavelli.
I mean, it depends on what universe we're talking about, but I gotta take my. In this universe, I gotta take my brother though.
Exactly, because that's the only option. If you're picking Mason Walls, you're a fool.
That's the option.
I'm trying to. Who's gonna win the Crown Championship?
Oh man, there's only one choice for that one. You're looking at the man right now who holding that title, who winning that title. This guy, your friendly neighborhood Red Dog, and depending on what part of the universe you are, you're not so friendly neighborhood Red Dog. That's who's winning it.
Oh man! So if you haven't already done so, follow us on all your favorite social media platforms at 3CountPod _ on that Bird app, or if you're the X app, whatever you want to call it, Elon's app. Yeah, 3CountPod _ 3CountPod. Everything else, everywhere else. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you don't miss any of our content. We just had a awesome interview drop yesterday. Cliff now entering the ring. We had Drew Gulak on the show, so definitely go check that one out. I haven't done so yet, and I'm like kicking the air because I haven't listened to it yet. So definitely go check that one out. For my podcast listeners, if you're listening to us on Spotify, make sure you give us a review. Like definitely rate the show because it definitely helps.
Yep.
Comment on the show. Tell us what you think. I'm trying to think. Make sure I go through all my announcements. Oh yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees for yourwear.com. Buy merch. You know that already. Check. And what's coming up on Now Into the Ring?
Yeah, so we have Now in Spring coming out on Saturday. You're going to get Marinelli from up in the Massachusetts, Connecticut region. So you guys will be able to go check out that episode. And then we also have on Wednesday, we have a special interview coming out. Now entering 201 with Mr. Corey Castle will also be there. So it'll be cool. You guys will get to enjoy those interviews. Definitely go check them out. Like, support, leave us 5-star frog splash reviews off of Mount Kilimanjaro, and let them be known.
I've never used that one. Okay,
Yeah, well,
I gotta use that one there.
yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna address the elephant in the room. Yes, Damien is not here. I don't know where Damien is. He just said he'd be there late. And I don't know where, well, I do know where Twitch is. Twitch is on his way.
Yeah, Twitch is on his way.
Twitch is on his way. But Damien, on the other hand, yeah, I want all of you to vote for him as Dumbass of the Week. Because he is not on the show when he is supposed to be here, he needs to be Dumbass of the Week. So he's only got 3 options this week. So, but we're going to get right down to it. Let's get into temp check. For those of you that don't know what temp check is, that's when me and my friends, we give you, well, my friend, we give you our hottest and our coldest wrestlers going into this week. And for a bonus, we give you our match of the week. I'll start us off. My hottest wrestler of the week, Montez Ford.
Mm.
I mean, seriously, when you have that one clip that just recycles throughout the social media past 24 hours and people are still talking about this one clip, you definitely get the hottest wrestler of the week. I mean, just when they panned out and the wide shot of the crowd going bonkers for him, nah. Montez Ford is my hottest wrestler of the week. And you know what? Dawkins gets to get, just the whole Street Profits because they're my match of the week. So the Street Profits and Los Garza, that's my match of the week. My hottest wrestler is the Street Profits because why not give it to Dawkins as well? It takes 2 to tango. My coldest wrestler. And I don't want to give credit to my brother. I don't want to give credit to JJ. For 5 years, even if he had a good point, I did not agree with his points. But my coldest wrestler is Tiffany. Is Tiffany Stratton. She got cooked.
Mm.
She got cooked.
Yeah.
Now, you can debate whether or not Charlotte went off script. Charlotte went into business for herself. That's a whole nother debate. That's a whole nother conversation. But regardless, in the end, after watching that back and forth, God, I want a new champion. Tiffany Stratton it just looks, and maybe that's what they're trying to go for. And if it is, kudos. You got what you want out of me, or at least the vast majority of viewers. Tiffany don't look good going into WrestleMania, and we've been saying it more than once. And this is the nail in the coffin. It don't look good. Tiffany she was fumbling for words. Charlotte was commanding the screen, commanding the attention. And yes, that's Charlotte does that. But you got to be ready for that if you're going up against the Queen for WrestleMania. You need to be ready and don't hold no punches. And Charlotte didn't hold no punches. And Tiffany looked oh man, it sucks because like I really, I really wanted to have high hopes for this. I was very optimistic, and I'm still gonna be a little optimistic until the final 3 count. See what I did there, but it don't look good for Tiffany. So yeah, she's my coldest. So Tiffany's my coldest. The Street Profits are my hottest wrestlers, and my match of the week: Street Profits versus Los Garzas from SmackDown.
It's not bad picks. Not bad picks. I'm just gonna give you my coldest wrestler of the week is Wheeler Yuta. Like, just gonna start that off just right there off the rip. Let's be real. I mean, after we'll talk about later on the show, but after said event that happened with Mox and he was just struggling, like I'm so glad like Mox was in his wherewithal to be like, yo, go hit the spot. And then Wheeler just got crushed. So it is what it is at that point. My hottest wrestler of the week, it was brought to my attention that a certain somebody is just firing on all cylinders, and I can't help but agree. Liv Morgan is gonna be my hottest wrestler of the week because not only has she, beaten the Queen, she is also beaten
Right.
Trish. She's pinned Trish. She's pinned Jade. Right. So this woman is on a hot streak. Right. Just dominating. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Liv as my hottest wrestler, and then my match of the week is actually gonna be Liv and Jade, on SmackDown. So
Okay.
throwing some love
Okay.
to the women.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I'm not even mad at that. No, I didn't think I was gonna like the Jade and Liv match when they announced it. I was like, okay, we have to have this match. Like, of course, Jade's got to go through everybody that's involved in some way with the story. So, okay, but it was good. It was a solid. It was a good match. I still think the Street Profits match was the best match of the week. I don't know. That crowd in Brussels is really, I think, really is what made that match.
Yeah.
And then
Were they in Brussels for that one?
No, they weren't in Brussels. They were in Italy.
Right?
Yeah, they were in Italy. I'm sorry. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
in Italy. That was Brussels was
With Raw.
Raw. Yeah, they were in Italy. Isn't it what Bologna? I don't want to. It's not. It's spelled like bologna, but I know that's not how you say it.
But yeah, you can go. That's great. Bologna.
Yeah, they were in Bologna, Italy.
Sorry if that's where you're from and we chopped your name.
I apologize. I really do.
don't
I
apologize.
just remember looking in the corner where it goes. Where they say where they're at.
I'm
I was
using.
like, oh wait,
American
that
Hooked
says
on Phonics.
bologna.
I was like, I'm using American Hooked on Phonics, so it is what it is for us.
Yeah. Sorry, public schools. Kid
Yeah.
right here.
American education.
Yeah, no child left behind.
100%.
Let us know in the comments what do you think is the temp check, your hottest, your coldest, and your match of the week. I'm trying to stall because Twitch is parking in the parking lot.
We'll get into
We
the
are
comments.
going to the comments.
Okay, cool.
That's what I was saying.
Oh.
I was still stalling with me stalling.
No,
I
I'm gonna
think
take my
3
time.
Count
doing
Pod has the
Uh,
best podcast theme song out there. Hey,
this. 100%.
clip this so I can send this to my mans. He needs a good cheer up.
Hello, Chaz. Good to see you. You look great. Championship gold looks amazing on you.
Thank you very much. I took it from Chris Idol.
Sup? What's up?
What's up?
Red Dog. Hi, dang. Hey, no. If you ain't in here talking about how much you like the New Day, don't bring that energy over here. Crown Prince Machiavelli, 100%.
I've been saying that for a year and a half.
I thought we just couldn't him because he's in the dark. Right. You can't see him. You're absolutely right. Because he's hidden. I blame creative. They know Charlotte is a beast on the mic. Why would they set Tiffany up like that? You got to go through the fire. I'm going to keep it 100. You got to go through the fire. She cooks everybody. She was cooking Rhea. Like when Rhea first came up and they had no fans, because of COVID and everything, she cooked Rhea. So
she did. That's facts. That is fair.
It is what it is. It's that's just Charlotte. And again, it goes back to what I've been saying too. Only one dominant blonde in WWE, and it ain't gonna be Tiff. Hey, that spot. We're talking about the spot with Mox. Was that Jade's first pinfall loss? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
It was. It was, and it was to Liv Morgan, which is crazy to think about.
It is crazy to think about it because people were talking like, oh, it's going to be Charlotte, and it's going to be Bianca,
Nope.
or somebody like that.
Liv
And it
Liv
wasn't. It was
Morgan.
Liv Morgan.
With the help of Naomi. I mean, but who's caring about that
Let's
part?
talk about it. It's giving me real Team Bad vibes. Like it really is, and I'm all for it.
Yep.
I'm all for it.
Well, I'm here for the Team Bad vibes. I just think that my problem is that like now if you turn, let's say you turn Bianca heel, right now you've got pretty much Naomi and Bianca on the same page. And I know like Jade earlier this week, she tweeted out something that said like I didn't trust Bianca anyway, or she said something like that. She's like, I didn't trust Bianca anyway. Naomi and I were closer.
her and Naomi were closer.
Yeah. So I mean, I understand a part of it, but it's like in the same token, I'm just like, if you turn all of them heel, like, what was the point? I mean, what were you trying to get them all to turn heel? Like, I don't understand like what we're doing at this point. I'm just like, someone's got to beat the good guy. That's gonna have to run through and beat both of them, beat the other two. That's just what it is. I like this question. Any thoughts on the Ray Phoenix signing? We knew it was happening.
Yeah,
We knew
it was a matter of when.
Yeah, and
It was a matter of when and what they would do. Would they put him with Penta right off jump, or would they let him do his own thing? I like how the fact that they let him do his own thing on SmackDown.
Yeah, and eventually, you're gonna end up having the Lucha Bros together, and they'll run roughshop in a tag division. I just think right now, like, you kind of need to establish them as two separate stars before you put them together. And I can't wait to see the Usos versus Lucha Bros match because that's gonna be fire.
I want to see the Machine Guns in the Lucha Bros.
Nah, I want brothers versus brothers. That's what I want.
I agree with you on that. Yes, absolutely.
And at some point in time, I want to see, because I know the Hardys are coming back to the E to do like one final run. I would definitely want to see the Lucha Bros versus the Hardy Bros as well. So we talk about great tag teams, and we know this was the match we were supposed to get in AEW anyway.
You're right, we were
Hardys and the Luchas, and they just never happened.
Right, we were. And
so to see it happen now would be awesome. And on a stage of like WWE, not saying that AEW isn't a big stage, but we're gonna get that match is gonna be fire. Wherever we get it, whether it's on SmackDown and we get it for free TV, or it's gonna be on some other, some pay-per-view that's in like France. We're gonna get that match. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm here for it. Next up, gentlemen, what's up, Mr. Golden?
Mr. Golden.
Here we go. Welcome back to Great Heel Naomi Night. I'm here for it, and it better not play in my girl's face. Facts.
We'll see.
I like it. Could we see Lucha Bros reunite? And if so, who's their first opponent? Definitely the Lucha Bros reuniting. I think if we're going to get anybody, it's got to be a heel team, like their first opponent. So I would say like DIY.
Oh, I was definitely going A-Town down.
I don't think they're going to be together.
You think they're breaking up?
We get these two together. I don't think they're going to be together.
Oh.
Yeah, I think they're going to be broken up. Yeah, I don't see that happening. Punk's versus the Trunks. That's funny. I like that. If you could choose, who does Chelsea Green drop to? Ooh,
Piper.
Yeah, actually, that's funny because that was the next one.
Yeah, that's Piper.
No, I need it to be. I'll be fair. This is gonna sound funny. Michin. And I'll tell you why.
I gave up on that when they didn't give her to be the first. I said, "All right, no, I don't want to see."
Well, it made sense not to have her be the first. It made sense not to have her be the first, but I think
yes.
The reason I say that it has to be it, It may not even have to be her, right? It could be, geez, Sol Ruka. You know, I'm not saying that she's gonna be on NXT for that long. She'll probably be called up soon, but I'm looking for an American to take the title off of her because that would be the moment, right? Piper is a great choice. I would agree. Piper, it should be next in line to take the title off of Chelsea, but it's got to be an American.
I had to
It's,
pull it up because it is true. Yes,
it is
it
true.
does. It does.
He really does. It's got to be. It's got to be an American though. So I mean, whether it's Bailey or somebody like that, it's got to be. It has to be an American that takes it off of her.
Ah, phooey. Oh, no.
You-
Let's move on to this first debate topic. Let's get to it because I'm very intrigued. All right, Cody Rhodes coronation. That promo. First of all, John Cena sounding like prime 2010 John Cena. That crowd. Let's go Cena. Cena sucks. Mixed reaction, but the boos seemed kind of louder. Did this past week's WWE Raw solidify Cody Rhodes as the guy? A lot of people are debating on Twitter that this was the passing of the torch. I'm going to say, wasn't he already the guy? And it's funny because I had this conversation with my wife, who tries to not keep up with wrestling as much as I do, and her children. So I brought this up. I was like, "Yeah, we're debating this," and she said the same thing. She goes, "Well, isn't he already the guy?" And I go, "Well, you can say that, yeah, but you can still argue the point that it's still Roman, if you want to."
Mm.
And it's like, but she goes, "But I thought when you win the title at WrestleMania, that's like solidifies, like that makes you the guy for right now. Like they're putting faith in you." And she's absolutely right. And so, which brings me to the point of the torch has already been passed. If it's not Cody Rhodes, it's Roman Reigns. Those are your two guys. There is no undoubting. There's no if, ands, or buts. There's no third. There's no, oh, but Seth Rollins. Oh, but Randy Orton. No, they're not. The two faces who are running the ship. And if you want it, if you can go with third, just so I can be fair, to put a woman out there, Bianca Belair. Those are the three.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm.
There is no other. And he has arrived.
Whoa! Wait a minute! Whoa!
But hold on. I'll let you go. But let me finish. There is no other. Cody Rhodes is the guy. It wasn't cemented this past Monday. It was solidified night 2 of WrestleMania when he pinned the longest reigning champion. And when he and he finished the story that everyone's been talking about for the past eons at this point. Because everyone's got a story. But nah, he was already the guy. He was the guy a year ago. Honestly, he was the guy 2 years ago. If you want to argue it, he was the guy 2 years ago when he lost. And he was doing the guy run. He was making the towns. He was doing the interviews. He was doing the quote unquote Cena loop. He was already the guy. He's been the guy for 2 years. And just because John Cena showed up and he's going to a program with him, passing of the torch. No, motherfucker. John Cena don't got the torch to pass. If anybody passing the torch to Cody, it's Roman passing the torch to Cody.
I was like, Cena passed that torch a long time
right.
ago to Roman.
Exactly. Cena passed that torch a long time ago. Who's passing what? Nobody's passing anything. Cody has had the torch. Roman had the torch. And they're both going like, it's a relay. Here you go. You go hold it for this lap. Here you go. You go hold it. That's what we're doing. Cena ain't passed nothing.
No.
Cena got booed. And guess what? Cody cooked him and called him a whiny bitch. That's what happened on this past WWE Raw. No torching, no solidifying, no. Cody
So
Rhodes told that man John Cena to show up.
I'm
That's
gonna
what he
give you
did.
Cody. I'm gonna give you Roman because those are the two. I can't give you Bianca though. Like you saying that, I was like, yo, when Rhea Ripley is still there and still
But
white hot,
Rhea's not doing the interviews. Rhea's not doing the stuff
bruh.
and doing the stuff that Bianca's doing.
But we talking about
When
who when
the
it comes to
guy or
no,
the
hey,
girl, that's how to include the
I let you
outside
rant off.
ring
I let
stuff.
you rant off. I let you rant off.
You-
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll let you rant off. But no, like the thing is like even if Bianca is doing all the interviews and doing all the press tours and doing all the stuff, right? Rhea Ripley is still doing all those things too. And the only time that I've seen her not do something is when she literally was chopping Buddy Matthews on his live stream. Like she's always in the news. We're always seeing her do something. Like she's been handling that business. So I don't. I mean, I can agree that if there was, because there's also a reason why her and Bianca were the women, the faces of the WWE 2K20. Was it 24? Was it last year?
That was last year's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2K24. Like she was one of them that was picked. Like her and Bianca, I could be like, it's a close. We can make it to debate. I mean, we here on the show. I think it's Rhea because I see when I see Rhea, she's always, everybody's got the sign, everybody got the merch, everybody's talking about her. They're always there. Like Cody cooked John Cena. Like we'll give that. Cody cooked. Yeah.
Like when there was a whole thing Tuesday and Tuesday night, people were like, Cody Rhodes got John Cena to pass the torch. Motherfucker, what?
No, that torch.
Passing what?
Yeah, we can agree to that. Like Roman Reigns, there was literally a moment where you saw the torch get passed between Roman and Cena, right?
Right.
And it started when he was like, "Oh, it's like missionary, over and over and over."
Right. That was in 2016. That was almost 10 years ago.
And remember, Cena came back and was like, "Well, that missionary got me over the past, like, whatever he said, like 10, 15 years." And then they got back into it and they got face to face, and then you saw Roman just cook Cena. And so from there, like, you just saw when Cody came in, Cody and Roman built up this story. You clearly saw that, Cody took over and was running with it after that. So I don't know what people are talking about as Cena handing off the torch. It was never Cena. It was always Roman that handed off that torch. But it is always Rhea over Bianca right now. That's my personal opinion part of it, though.
Yeah. That's next week's debate. Who's the face of the women's division? That's the debate.
Twitch?
All right, Twitch. Good to see you. Before you even get into debating and arguing, are you okay?
Yeah, are you good?
Super good. Just an Achilles.
Wonderful.
Nobody needs it.
So
Just
make sure
an
you
Achilles, nobody needs it.
Yeah. It's just an Achilles. No one needs
Man
it.
said, mind you.
So you want to give your temp check first?
No, it's okay. Some people in the chat aren't worthy of my temp check. We won't mention any names, Dean.
Oh my God. Oh, wait. Hold on. You weren't here for my start of the show. I told Cliff. I said all that internet beef. All right, all them Twitter. I said leave that on the internet. Leave that on that Twitter app. Don't bring that in the studio. I said that.
It's on site, and there he is.
It's because also Chaz upset because he woke up and caught strays about the Mexican Samoan comment.
Blame him. He's over there somewhere.
Hey, I was crying. I'm gonna be honest.
I was dead.
Yo, as soon as I woke up, I was reading the comments. I was like, "It's not my fault that your host looks like a midget cross-dressing as a Samoan and Mexican." I was like, "What?"
And guess where I was when I saw that?
Church.
Exactly. I was in church, and I'm like,
time
I
out.
was like, why is my Twitter? It's like, why is the Twitter blowing up? I'm like,
why are you on your phone in the house of the Lord?
Because I was. You want to know why? I'll tell you why.
Why?
I'm reading the scripture. and my phone is just buzzing. And I'm like, why is this going off? I'm like, who keeps tweeting? And I have y'all notifications for when you guys tweet. And I'm like, why are they going? And I'm like, oh, okay, they're going back and forth with Dean, whatever. And then I just so happened to see that one tweet out of everything. And I go, hey, what they got to do with me?
You're just a casualty of war. So my hottest of the week, since I will give it, Jacob Fatu for the hottest, because
that's nothing new.
That's never going to be coldest of the week. I'm sorry I have to say it, Zelina Vega. That match with Piper Niven was not the best thing we've seen from her. Match of the week isn't a match. It's Punk, Roman, and Rollins. I like the violence. I'm here for it. So where are we at?
Well, we're discussing Cody Rhodes. John Cena. Passing of the torch.
Yeah,
Did they solidify him as the guy?
It's a shame that torch was passed in 2016. You guys said it best. It was never Cena's torch to pass anymore. It was Roman's. And Roman's still holding on to that very tightly.
Right, exactly. What?
That's there you go.
It's just crazy. It's really I was really upset that this was a thing. Of all things to be a thing. But then again, it's the IWC, and anything is a thing with them. So
who should have been the U.S. champion?
What?
We're not okay.
We'll save that for later.
Moving on to get to the comments.
Okay.
Because we all agreed that there was no torch to be passed, and she
deserves a title. Piper deserves a high key. People still talk about Piper in the chat. Absolutely, Cody is taking on Peak Cena. I wouldn't say anything about Pink Cena. I don't think that's what it is at all. I hated that promo. It made Cena look like a pussy, and he deserves better. I'm gonna go ahead and say it since you put little asterisks in there, Mr. Golden. Peak 50-year-old Cena. That promo I thought the promo was fire. I thought the one thing I didn't like about it was you people promo, and I was just like, it is what it is.
Yes.
Cody is the captain now. Cena feud just solidified it. I beg to differ. I don't think so.
I beg to differ too. I think I don't think he's the captain. I think he was always the captain.
No, I just don't think that Cena's feud solidifies that. I just thought Roman.
I think I don't think it's. I don't
even know if it adds. Let me put this.
It does add to it. It adds to it because let's be for real. What else the title reign? We've been complaining about the title reign since he was. This is besides AJ and Solo, who's defended it against? KO.
The Cena I'm looking for is not this Cena.
Oh, heel Cena?
No, this 235-pound John Cena. I'm not looking for Ernest. The goddamn goes to wrestling. Ernest goes to WrestleMania. I want 2010, 2011. 275-pound John Cena in the damn ring against Cody Rhodes. Then I will be like, that solidifies. Cena was cooking on the mic, and he looked strong as hell, cooking people in a ring. I want that. I want the Cena that buried the Nexus. I want that Cena against Cody Rhodes. Jacob Fatu, 100%. Welcome back. He's talking to you. How was the Limp Bizkit reunion?
It was it was wonderful. I am waiting for my backstage passes for Lollapalooza.
Well, look what the cat puked up.
Fuck you, Dean.
Hey, Twitch, welcome, buddy. Chaz, I'm trying to follow directions and keep it out, but they're pushing it.
You are on site. I don't care if we're at church.
Call me crazy, but Zelina is so good, and they don't do anything with her. You're not crazy.
They don't.
She is good.
They don't. She
She's
did.
great.
They don't know that.
That's not what I said. Laugh my fucking ass off. They always picking on me. Oh, you just sound like a little schoolgirl right now.
Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right.
I
Stop it.
asked how your day was.
She should she should have been the U.S. champ, in my opinion. I don't.
You
I
talking
think it
about
always needed to be
Zelina?
on a. Yeah, Zelina. I don't.
Oh,
I think it should have. It should. I think it was the right person to put it on Chelsea. I definitely agree. Like I said, I think the next person that takes it off is going to be. Has to be an American.
don't
John
have.
Cena lost to Austin Theory at WrestleMania. He's not passing Cody anything. 100%. Well said,
You
Dean.
know, I keep forgetting that.
That was the thing that happened.
It
And it was a
is.
bullshit ass match too. I agree that Zelina Vega is fucking good. She's not connecting with the universe at all, and it blows. You know what's funny though is I think a lot of people keep fucking up, and they just got to keep putting her out there because she's amazing on the mic, and she can go in the ring. Like
Yeah,
I
she can.
agree. Again, Dean, you're saying exactly what I'm thinking too. I don't know, it's not clicking, so I'm not. I want so much more for her. You know what I think it is? I think it's because she's and when I say this, just try to hear me out. She's the underdog story is already being told. Rey Mysterio is that the underdog story, and I don't think the fans are looking for another underdog story. They're not looking for Zelina, and I
Right.
think they're looking at other people. You know, like Io is like has this presence about her, and she also can cook on a mic, and she's not is English is not even her first language,
Right.
so I think that's the problem. Um, but Zelina has this aura about her too that I think they just need to utilize with her. And I'm not quite sure like what Zelina Vega the character needs to get over with the fans because, like we said, she can go in the ring. She has fire. She has fire gear. She always has something cool coming out. You know, when
All the
she
time.
in the Royal Rumble, she's always coming out like as a new character, whether it's like some random anime that she loves watching or Street Fighter or whatever it is. Like she's always coming out with something great. So
Yeah.
when she was in Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican crowd was all about her. And obviously I know
Hmm.
it's home turf, but it was all about her. And it just seemed like WWE was just like, oh yeah, that's good enough. We don't need to push her anymore. It's like, no, like that ride this wave, get her back out there the next and they're like, nah, we'll just throw her in an LWO with Ray. And then that was just kind of it.
Yeah.
She,
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Twitch.
it's like he said though. She always gets the short end of the stick because she's always thrown into groups, and
Yep.
then she gets lost in the shuffle of the group. Look at the LWO.
Yeah. No, that's fair. No, you're right. She is always thrown in the group and she's lost in the shuffle. That is
Yep.
true. Yeah, I didn't even think about
So if
that.
she wins the U.S. championship, I will also be happy for her because
Yeah.
he deserves it.
All
Take
right, let's get on to that next topic.
that shitty title, the speed title that Candice LeRae. Give
Ugh.
her that one and let her defend it on SmackDown.
Yo, you know that they're not gonna do that one.
No. Is that
That's
shit
the
still going
title.
on? I don't know. I don't really check it out on Twitter anymore.
When I see a match that I go, oh, I want to see that. Now I'll check out WWE Speed, but they're not getting me every week.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right.
Let's talk. Swerve. I swerve when I'm gonna. I shouldn't have did that. All right. Swerve is in the news
Why
again.
are you taking control? Stop it.
Swerve is in the news again. He was on a podcast. I forgot what the podcast was called, but he was on a podcast and he made some comments about these former AEW talents, and not even necessarily the former AEW talents, but former WWE stars coming over to AEW, and because of them being in AEW, brings them more value, elevating them being better, not better stars, but bigger stars. And so, do you agree with Swerve's comments? Let's start with you, my brother. Go ahead, Twitch.
What an interesting thing to say. Uh, does it bring them more star power? No. Does it make them more relevant? Probably not. I I feel like this is a case of you going to bat for your company and probably going to bat at the wrong time. Uh, certain people, maybe. But people like Cody, people like Punk, Moxley, even, I don't think so. I think those people were already stars before they made it to AEW. Some might probably not as bright as others, but I feel like this was just a case of him going to bat for his company and it turning out bad.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Hey,
Cliff.
go ahead. Let me know about Ricky Saint.
Mm.
Yeah, because that man's value. Yo, if according to Swerve, main event WrestleMania. That's where Saint belongs right now. Right now. Right now. No, Cody and Punk are the exception to the rule. They are not the rule. The rule is like you're crossing over from an audience that knows you on we'll call it like on the secondary show because we'll call AW, right?
Okay.
The secondary show. They know you. You're in a wrestling crowd. So when you cross over to WWE, you're just going into a more generalized public that knows WWE. I don't see them as being their stars are elevated, right? Because if I mean you're talking like, and even if you were trying to use that rule, like, hey, guys who went from WWE to AEW and went back to WWE, their status was raised higher. Tell me about Shawn Spears. And I get it, right? Everybody else they'll have different lines, right? I get it, right? Well, and I say that word because it's like maybe Shawn didn't want to be that person. Maybe he just wanted to be like, I just want to be a coach in the back and do whatever. Cool. Then tell me about Jade. Because Jade really hasn't wrestled that many matches. And when she does wrestle, we hype for her because we're glad to see her. But she ain't really wrestling that many matches, right? And there was a whole rumor that they're like, they had to build it from the bottom back up. That she's been in a training performance center beforehand, and then obviously all this stuff. So it's crazy to me to hear that AEW elevated people's statuses when that wasn't really the case. I don't agree with the statement, you know, and it'll be interesting because Swerve will go back to the E, and who knows where he lands, right? Maybe they put him in an upper echelon category because he is a former world champion. But when Mox crosses back over, will they put him in that upper echelon, right? When Daniel
And
Bryan,
Mox is. I think Mox is that. I think you put him in that same Cody CM Punk. I mean, you can't if he's going back. He's getting the the
pack.
whole red carpet. Like that's the Shield. I think
So
we kind of
yeah,
agreed.
yeah, and you're right. You're right. So exceptions to that
Like
rule,
the three biggest stars of the 2010s is right there.
right?
Those three guys. So
But okay,
I think you got to put him in that same category like Cody and Punk.
so the exception to the rule, but then
Yeah.
Pac, this when Pac crosses
No.
back over,
No.
he's not going to be in that same category.
No.
That's just the problem, though. It's just Cesaro, like he's not going to be in that same category. The
Alistair Black.
Alistair Black, like
That's that's the
I
one.
want
That's the one
Malachi.
I'm intrigued on
Yeah,
because I agree with you. I agree. And if you look at it per se, like take the step back, you look like, oh, okay, Aleister Black. Nah, they weren't really giving them much beforehand. It's Andrade.
There you go.
yes,
Andrade. Case in point. That's the perfect case. Andrade was middle of the pack, or what you call it, before he went to AEW, middle of the pack, comes back.
still middle.
What is it? Still middle of the pack.
Yep,
They're letting them put fire matches on.
yep,
They're giving them the time. Like, don't get me wrong on that.
yeah. Those
Like
3 minute
Andrade's been putting on fire matches on SmackDown when they give him the time. Between him and LA Knight, him and Mello, like let's not forget him and Mello was those 7 matches we had?
Fire.
Yep,
Fire, all 7, and they were all 7 of them were different. So that he's getting the time to do matches, but Don, he's the middle of the pack. Because what's he
yep.
doing now?
So yeah, I think Swerve is just you said it best. Swerve is like he's out here batting for his team, talking about how these guys are all elevated, but these were all elevated talent anyway. And
Yeah.
even if you were to be like, well, Cody was an EVP. Well, Cody was the reason why the TNT title was relevant anyway, because he was putting out. He was the guy during that whole pandemic era that was bringing in guys to help like showcase those, whether it was a Warhorse or it was Eddie Kingston or who else was in there that they just signed back. They signed back on. There was just so many people for the Cody Open that they were just bringing in all these random talents to showcase this title. I don't know, man. I like Swerve. Swerve just says some shit sometimes. I just got to look at him like, yeah, come on, man. Like, we know what team you on right now, but that's not how you really feeling.
It's a case of going to bat for your team. It's just the wrong thing to go to bat for.
Yeah. Chaz, are you trying to say something? Because like you're
muted.
Yeah, you're muted, bro.
No, you're not.
I don't know why, but
Yeah,
my take is
I
the
told
same
you
as
to quit
yours. That's
touching
all
the
I was saying.
controls.
I'm not. The fun thing is this: I'm not hitting it. But my take is this: it's the same as yours, Cliff. Like, I have right here CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, stars before they even stepped foot in AEW.
Yeah.
They were chanting CM Punk's name for 10 years before you even got him back. Before you, like, we'll give you the credit. You got CM Punk back.
Yeah.
You did it. Like, you'll get the flowers for that. You
And
brought
then you
CM
fumbled
Punk
it.
back to professional wrestling. No one else did that. AEW did that. But they were chanting his name before that. And they were still chanting his name at the other company. CM Punk was a star beforehand. Like, no. And don't say that their runs in WWE now are proving that that AEW is no. They were going to get that run regardless. CM
Yeah.
Punk could have never came back and waited. If you can literally cut out that whole year and a half, 2 years he was in AEW. Just say it was just another 2 years that he was away from wrestling, and you put when he came back into Chicago, everything stays the same the way it was.
Yeah.
There's no change, no in time and timeline change switch. No, it's the same thing. And Cody, when he would have came back, would have gotten this same treatment.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's also
Like
weird,
he
too,
didn't have to have AEW. Cody, him just all his stuff straight off of ROH and New Japan alone. He cemented himself as a main event player then.
Yeah.
AEW was just the icing on the cake.
Yeah. I think another example too that we're just even skipping over too, because he currently holds a title in NXT. Lexus King.
Yeah.
Like if AEW is that much of a value, right? Lexus King should not be in NXT and should be somewhere in the middle of the pack of the main roster. But that's not
You're
the
right.
case.
Exactly. He definitely should be called up.
And I get
Right.
it too, right? Like the one thing that you can make your point too. Well, we only saw Brian Pillman Jr. in tag teams. Well, fun fact, I'll let you know this. Not that I heard this, but I heard this allegedly. When you're agenting in those matches backstage, you tell guys how they're going to wrestle, and they don't get to showcase a whole lot of their personality. Because I've seen Brian Pillman work singles matches outside of AEW; they were fire. And then he gets brought into gets you see him on AEW, kind of limited on what he can do. And then he goes to the E, and guess what? They're just like, open up the gas tank, have some fun out here while you're on NXT, and he's doing that. So
Yeah.
When you limit somebody's ability to wrestle, you're gonna get limited results. So that's all you guys get to see of Brian Pillman, because they don't want anybody outshining somebody else. So it'd be like that. Jealousy is a bitch. Hold on. Talking about Zelina Vega still. She needs guidance. I feel like she is just in the most random matches. She always taking an L. We can get her a really interesting story or even a heel turn, because her heel persona eats. It does. She's a great heel. I just think that she doesn't really need guidance. I just think she gotta be a heel. She's a great heel. I agree with that one. Everyone listened to Chaz about Shawn Spears, and now everyone hates him. Pack was another one. Here we go. Swerve did his thing in AEW, and we really saw him rise to stardom. He deserves. And I feel, though, maybe he's looking at it in a sense of all we saw other stars' potentials with Ricky, Jade, Shawn, and Lexus.
But it still doesn't add value. It's not adding value.
It's not adding value.
Yeah.
That would be essentially like Deion Sanders, like for your football guys out there who are familiar, Deion Sanders, when he was playing for the 49ers, he went to the Cowboys. Or no, sorry, when he was at the Cowboys, he went to the 49ers. And you're thinking that legacy of him going there is adding value to him when he was already added value. Like you're not doing anything. You're not moving the needle that way. Ricochet, when he goes back over to WWE, would he be in the same category? No,
Yeah.
he'd be a middle of the pack guy. He's not
Oh
above.
yeah. Back in the middle. Yeah.
That's what call me crazy. I see Ricochet trying, especially when him and Swerve ran their feud. Yeah, no, he opened, like I said, again, it goes back to him opening up the gas tank and letting him do some stuff. Because one thing he did mention in that interview with Chris Van Vliet is that when you sell really well, you become the sell guy, and that was Ricochet's
Mm-hmm.
role. Dolph Ziggler was in the
I've
same
done
bat,
that very
same
well.
same boat, and one other person is in there currently, and I wish that they wouldn't have him be in there, and that is Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah.
Chaz muted is the best part of the show.
It's a fair statement.
Swerving his opinions, ugh, he be talking his ass, bro. Facts. Then he went to the Ravens. You know what? Yeah, that's actually that'd be funny too, because like when Dion went to the Ravens, and it's like
Yeah.
when he went to the Ravens, it wasn't like he was adding value to the team. Like, and it's not like his value was because he was there. Like, all of a sudden, his stock was raised, and so was the Ravens' stock was raised. No, it was just Dion. Old Dion was there, so it
Yeah.
just meh.
Kind of like D Hop.
Yeah, D Hop being there now, like it doesn't matter. It's 50-year-old D Hop, great.
Yeah.
That team would be
Right.
fired if it was like 2017.
Right. Like, that's what I was saying. Like 2017, 2018. All right. Damien's not here, so he's automatically the dumbass of the week.
Facts.
He missed
Can
his
we still let
time.
it?
Sure. Why not? Why not?
All right, hold on.
But I made it.
It's Damien's Dumb Ass of the Week.
Yay!
Yay.
All right.
It's Damien.
You don't even get to vote.
You don't get to vote. There's no need to vote.
Nope.
He said he'd be here for his segment.
What a
He's
piece
not
of
here.
shit. What a
There
liar.
it is. Boom. Then that's Damien's dumbass of the week. All right. Moving on to our last topic. Twitch is chomping at the bits for this one.
Yep.
Look, all right. We all saw that spot. Oh, there's a typo. We all we all saw the spot. Is Mox unfairly criticized for the same things that Terry Funk and Mick Foley are praised for? I said it in the opening monologue. Like Mox bleeding every week, doing these crazy spots is nothing new. And it's always opinions and Twitter fingers afterwards. But likewise, Terry Funk, Mick Foley were doing the same thing in the 90s, and they're hardcore legends. So is this a double standard? Twitch.
I will go last. I'm going to let
you want to go last? All right,
I'm
cool.
going to let y'all get it out.
Cool. I'll give you. So I'll start it. Is it a double standard? Absolutely. Let's call it what it is. It is. Regardless of the specific spot that happened this past Wednesday, it is a double standard. It is. Now, is it a dumb spot? Is it stupid? Absolutely. But that's not what we're arguing. Is there a double standard? It is. I think it's. Let me back up. I think it's a little bit of both of a double standard and it is fatigue. Mox does this same format of matches especially when there's a stipulation, when there's toys involved. So I kind of think it is kind of fatigue. We know how the John Moxley Max is going to go. But it is a double standard. I think likewise. Now, granted, I'm a secondhand experience. I've only know from, watching the shows and watching people's reactions after the fact. But I'm fairly certain that people were saying the same thing about Mick Foley, Terry Funk, and everything else about ECW for those years. And we're saying that this is stupid. This is not wrestling. This doesn't need to be on TV. Blah 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 blah. So I do believe it's a double standard. There's a whole category of wrestling called deathmatch wrestling that is insanely popular, just as professional wrestling. Twitch being a deathmatch guy himself, like he knows, like there's a whole thing of death matches, like and that's a thing people do. People like it. That's Mox's world. Like before he was in WWE and he was in the old school CZW when Combat Zone Wrestling was the deathmatch promotion. That's where he got his name from. Like he got it from there. He made his name off of CZW. So this isn't new, but we've got to chill out because it's nothing new. We were doing this in the 90s, in the early 2000s. We were saying how bad this was. And then 20 years later, like we're over here saying Mick Foley is one of the greatest hardcore wrestlers ever, which he is. I mean, that's not a bad point. We're talking Terry Funk, legend this, legend that, when they're doing the same spots. I mean, exploding barbed wire death matches. Not the one from AEW.
Not
The real
AEW.
ones. The real ones.
Cool with that.
Not the cosplay ones. The real ones.
The cosplay ones.
Okay, the real ones. Look at that. So yeah, it's a double standard. It really is. Like the spot is disgusting. Like it is. Like he shouldn't have done it. Like that's a whole 2x4. There's no give on that joint. Like those are full nails. When I saw his skin move while they were trying to take it out, that was it for me. I was like, yeah, enough. I'm over it. But yeah, it's a double standard. We've got to chill out. Like we do. We got to chill out. Go ahead, Cliff.
Okay, so I guess I gotta figure out how to say this because do I think it's a double standard? I don't know because I feel like whenever I watch Mick Foley and Terry Funk, when there was color, right, it's because it was warranted in the match. Right? I don't think like you're in a death match, you're going to bleed. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what's gonna happen. I think. I mean, because when we look at it, I'll use a recent example. Right? Let's look at
I think your mic cut off.
Yeah, something's up with your audio.
my
Yeah, you
audio's
sound
out.
far away.
Does it sound like I'm far away now?
No.
No, I got it. Yeah, that's better. But you
Okay.
got to echo.
Yeah. So my problem is that when I look at these matches, right? Here's my problem with it, right? Is Mox is like bleeding continuously for no reason. That's my problem. I saw him take a back bump on Dynamite and was like bleeding. Like it's not warranted. It's not. It doesn't make sense, right? But I'll use these two matches. I'll use this one match, right? Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, right? AW when they were in Georgia, right? And Britt busted her nose and she was just bleeding everywhere, right? And we talk about like how great that match was, right? It was unexpected. We never saw it, right? And we're like, damn, dude, Britt's hardcore because like here she's like bleeding out and she's just selling the fuck out of this whole thing. Outside of that too, we just recently talked about how great the Hollywood ending match was. Those girls were bleeding all over the place. And we were all about that, right? So when it comes down to Mox, man, it's just like every time I see Mox though, man, he's bleeding for no reason, right? He's doing something for no reason. I think when the moment calls for it, yeah, I think there are times where I'm agreeing with it. But Punk kind of said it himself when he was at AEW. He's like, yo, you'll bleed for anything. He's like, I don't even want to touch you because I'm afraid if I hit you, you might just bleed on me or something. And it just feels that same way with him. When I watch someone like Mick Foley or I watch Terry Funk back in the days, like those matches, I don't remember seeing Mick Foley bleed in a Royal Rumble. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see it happen. I didn't see when Mick Foley was cosplaying as Santa. Like I didn't see it happen. You know what I mean? When I watch Mick Foley and Santino Marella do the Sock versus the Cobra, I didn't see it happen. When I saw him get thrown off the fucking cage and through a chair or through the table. He wasn't bleeding then, but guess what? My man had a whole tooth in his nose and he was smiling. And he was, and we were all for it, right? Like there are moments where like I can agree that like these hardcore matches, death matches, like have to happen, and we all understand the rules that we get when we sign up. We didn't say like we talked a lot of shit about Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho just because we were shitting on Chris Jericho, but that match low key was kind of fire, and it was a let's call it like a PG-13 death match. But when we saw the pizza cutter come out and hit Jericho in the head and he was bleeding out, we were there for it. So I'm just saying when it's called for, it makes sense. But when I watch Mox, man, like every single time I watch him, something's going on. I'm like, I'm afraid to wave at John Moxley while he's wrestling in AEW because he might bleed on me. Like that's what it's felt like. And Mox doesn't need it. Yeah, Mox made his name in CZW. And, he was also a deathmatch guy. He was the GCW heavyweight champion when Matt Cardona was running around as the deathmatch king. Like, yeah, like I get it. I get where those make sense, but I just every time I turn around, man, he's doing something for nothing. It's like I'm not here for it. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. When the moment calls for it, I think it makes sense, but it just feels like Mox calls for it all the time.
All right, my guy. Floor is yours.
We didn't complain when Sabu was ripping his legs open with barbed wire and gluing himself shut. We didn't complain when Eddie Kingston was taking kebab scores to his forehead and having them hammered in. We didn't complain when Abdullah the Butcher was stabbing motherfuckers with forks. Why is it that we're complaining when John Moxley takes a back bump onto a 2x4 with nails on it? Is it just because of the company? Or is it literally because y'all have nothing better to do? This man came from CZW as his background, Combat Zone Wrestling, that specializes in what? Tournament of Death. Do you really think a person coming from that company is going to do anything else? No. So why are we bitching about it? We didn't bitch about it when Foley was doing it as Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie throwing themselves all over the place. We don't complain when other people do it. So is it just the company that you want to complain about letting them do it? I feel like it what do you really expect from a man that, like you said, took a back bump and just decided I'm going to blade for no reason? Like, why is it now? Now, here's my retort to that. Why is it that we complain when John Moxley bleeds every week, but we don't when Tony Storm does?
So, like, are you still ranting off, or are you asking a question for me?
I'm asking a question for that one. Why do we complain?
Okay. Because what's crazy is like when we see it happen with Tony, it's usually some kind of object that does it, right? I think it just seems like what it felt like and what it feels like with Mox is that we've seen him on so long that he's taking like these crazy bumps, right? And we're like, oh, we're here for it. When he gets busted, we're like, oh yeah, because that makes sense. But it gets to a point where like you're taking these bumps every week, and we said the same thing about Darby. Darby taking all these crazy bumps, and we're like, bro, like, can you like save your body a little bit? Because like, yeah, we love the fact that he jumped off that ladder and went through the glass pane, and his back was shredded, and we were like, oh my god, it's kind of gross. Kind of here for it though.
That's my thing is we cheer for it when it's Darby. What makes it so different when it's John?
Because Mox, like, the reason why I'm gonna just take devil's advocate side on this one. The reason why is because Mox is doing it week in, week out, and we know
and Darby's not.
Darby's not doing it week in, week out like that.
Bro, how many times have we watched Darby jump off fucking ladders?
No, I'm talking about like just busting himself open and just like gushing out blood.
Okay, that I'll give you. I feel like
people are fatigued. I think they're blood fatigued. I'll be real. I think people are blood fatigued. When it comes to Mox, I think they're blood fatigued. When it comes to Tony Storm, I'm gonna be honest, it's because some of you guys just don't it's a woman bleeding, and you're just like, oh my god, I've never seen this before.
here's my next statement, because
That's what it is.
here's
That's what it is. I was hoping somebody said that. The whole thing with Tony Storm not bleeding, it's because she's a woman and
you
you
don't
haven't
see it
seen
as much.
women bleed,
Yep.
at all.
It was the same with Becky Lynch. You don't see
Because
her
God
bleed much,
forbid a
but then
woman being a human.
her face
Yep.
implodes. But now here's where I argue that with you about it being John Moxley and him doing it every week. Ric Flair. The motherfucker would punch himself in the face and start bleeding in the middle of his promos for no reason. But we hold him to a golden standard. I'm
But
not
also
saying we need to.
But
Go
when it
ahead.
comes to Rick, though, when Rick was bleeding in the ring, it's usually because some shit had happened. It wasn't because it was like, I don't know. I'll use another example of someone that shouldn't have been busted open. It's not Chris Daniels punching himself in the face as the camera's running towards him, you know.
Yeah, that we ain't even gonna acknowledge that.
I'm just pointing out, like, fans, they're fatigued with Mox always bleeding. That's what they're fatigued with.
I understand that, and my agreement with you with in that statement was, once upon a time, didn't AEW say they were stepping away from this every single week? And here we are still every single week with John Moxley bleeding. That's where I will agree with you. Where I disagree is we've seen so many people do this. Wow, my sister. Ah,
That's why I'm laughing too.
my
Pull it up, pull it
sister.
up, pull the
Pull it
comment
up.
up, because that's what I'm laughing at too.
God.
My sister.
Oh man, that was funny.
How we love her humor. But my argument is we've seen this from so many other people and it wasn't a big ordeal. But just because it's John Moxley, it is. Like I said, Sabu, Raven, Sandman, all of ECW every single week.
But there's a okay. Glad you brought that point up, right? ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling.
But
Like,
then
we knew, but the thing is you've trained the audience on what to expect every week. You expect them to get busted open. You expect them to do everything, right? You expect these things to happen when you're doing with ECW. But what you're not expecting is on AEW, All Elite Wrestling, when you've told the fans, "Hey, we're gonna go away from these blood spots," they're just Moxley's like, he said that, but that's not for me. Oh, I took a crazy back. I took a normal back bump. Like, I'm busted open now. Like, bro, I'm bleeding all over. Like, and you say, and I say it, but you've seen it. Like, we
I
have
have.
seen it
No,
happen.
we talked about it numerous times. I don't disagree with some of your points. I do disagree in the fact that it's I can't even really disagree in the fact that it's just John Moxley, because you're not wrong. It is just John Moxley. I just I feel like this is a case of picking and choosing who we want to be able to bleed and who shouldn't be able to.
But it goes back to my point of saying, when we saw Swerve and Hangman Page have that cage match, right? And Swerve got busted open, and Chaz was all like, "Oh my god, I can't believe Hangman drank his blood and spit it out." Like, we were all like, "Holy shit, that was crazy!"
It,
But if John would have done that, we also would have gone, "Oh my god, that is crazy," because that makes sense. But again, like I said, when it just happens randomly with John, it's just John. It happens so much with John that it's, and that's at the point that, yeah, it's just a fatigue thing now. Like, if it happened every so often, or maybe even if it happened at every pay per view, like we expect to see John Moxley get busted up at a pay per view, it would be one thing. But it just feels like every other week that John has a match, he's being busted open, and that's it.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
Because, like I said, he goes back to Swerve and Heyman, or it goes back to Tony and Mariah, right? Like, we watch these people just put themselves through Darby. We watch them put themselves through hell, and guess what happens? Like, we just like, oh shit, man, they are doing their thing. We're here for it. But when it's Mox, man, it's just like week in, week out, or every other week. It just happens, or it just, I don't know. It's just not connecting the same, and I think because it happens so much, it's just, that's the reason why for me.
I also think it's the fact that we're over Mox. We're over the title reign.
That I don't
I
disagree with.
I also think that plays into effect of it. Like we're tired of it. We're tired of Moxley, and then you give us the same match again the week after,
Yeah.
and you gave us this ridiculous stipulation. Like if anything, you should have put that on the pay per view, and
Yeah.
I was
then
just about to say that should have been the pay per view.
yeah, swap it.
That should have
Yep.
totally been the pay per view.
Still do your stupid cash in on Dynamite. You would have probably got a pop in the ratings.
Yep. And you know what's crazy is like, and I'm not even so for me, right? I'm not even against the spot. Like,
No, I
I'm
am.
not
Oh, I'm
against.
not
I just
against it.
I think there's a safety thing. Like there's no give. Those are
As
straight
a
nails.
as a guy who has willingly been thrown through light tubes and a plethora of other things, uh, I'm here for it. You just couldn't pay me enough to do that.
And I think AEW. I would at least hope that AEW went through some precautions and making sure that like the
Went
nails.
through precautions. That man's skin. That man.
Bro,
That shit got
yeah,
stuck. I don't care what anybody say.
I,
That shit went wrong.
Listen,
He tried to pull it out, and that man's skin
bro,
was crunching up. No,
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 I'm just gonna say
no.
I'm gonna take the advocate side and say I'm pretty sure they went through, sanitized those nails before the match even
I'm
started,
not talking about that
and
part.
then I said,
I'm
"Hey,
talking about the puncture wound.
nah, man, I'm talking about that
Let me-
whole because like at the end of the day we're all still gonna talk about it. But yeah, that man having what did he calls it? What does he call what does he call that the plank? He has a name for it.
Oh, wasn't it Spike or
Is it
Spud?
Spike?
Something.
Something like
His
that.
name was
Anyway,
Spike.
yeah,
I think it's
to
called
see
Spike.
that hit him and then stick into him, I was like, oh my god. For me,
I'm
I
just
was
just
like,
saying,
thinking
this
about
is
it.
kind of cool.
I try not to watch it.
I'm just saying, surface rust is a real thing.
Yeah. Well, like in the other part too, that was crazy to me was Wheeler, like just Wheeler just
Oh,
tugging at it.
oh man, the
It was
skin
just
just pulling
so
away.
bad,
Oh
bruh.
man,
Yep. I was like,
Go to the
damn.
comments.
bro, give me light tubes any day of the week.
All right, here we go.
I take some light tubes. I do that.
Damien's
I'm
dumbass
not
of the
taking no
week.
back bump on no 2x4
Y'all's
nails.
graphics are fire. Facts. Chaz.
Sabu.
That's Chaz. Sabu. But you again, Sabu, ECW makes sense, right? Extreme Champion. That's what it is. That's what they're going for. Sabu in WWE, guess what he wasn't doing? That
Man.
same thing. You know. And
Yeah,
we'll bring up another one.
which upset me as an 11-year-old who was like ECW, okay, and did his research, and who became a fan of Sabu, and what was his favorite guy to use on SmackDown versus Raw 2008, featuring ECW. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's real personal for me.
Y'all told him to high ass standard because he was in the Shield. That spot was dumb as fuck. It literally stuck and hard to watch. It
Yes,
wasn't because he was in the
that's a
Shield.
fact. Yes. Well,
But
no. Mox is held to a high standard because he was in the Shield.
no,
Absolutely.
he's in a higher standard because he was in the upper echelon of WWE. Has nothing to do with him being in the Shield. That's
It
the
definitely has
problem.
everything to do with the Shield.
No,
The Shield is.
it doesn't.
What do you
It has to.
mean?
It
We
not,
sat up
no,
here and
because
said
the
that the
Shield is what
Shield.
put him on the map. He, on the other hand, Dean Ambrose himself, right, was in the upper echelon of the WWE. When
Oh,
he
I mean,
left,
yeah.
we're not gonna be like, no, it's the Shield because he was in the Shield. No, because we didn't do that same thing when Seth Rollins was in the fucking Hell in a Cell with the Fiend, and we didn't shit on Seth Rollins for that match when he hit the Fiend with a giant ass sledgehammer and be like, well, we hold him to a higher standard because he was in the Shield. We didn't do that. We didn't do that to
But
Roman.
we did. But we still.
No, stop.
We did give him shit
I'm
though for
ranting
that
off
match.
here. No, and we didn't do that to Roman when he was in a match with Logan Paul and Logan Paul's second match ever in WWE, and we were like, "Oh well, he should be wrestling higher end standard because he was in the Shield." We didn't do that, so we're not doing that to Moxley.
What does the Logan
Stop
Paul
it.
match got to do with that?
No, I'm just saying. Exactly. We're doing relevant things to make something add up. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, no, was that spot dumb? Probably to some people, just because it was stuck to his skin. It was hard to watch. But hey, I was like, but to use this shield as the reason why we hold this man to a higher standard, no, that's not. No, shut up.
It is.
I'm just saying.
Sorry, Noah, love you. No.
The people that think that was hard to watch really need to go sit down and watch Tournament of Death.
I'd rather not.
Do you think it was supposed to be that way? No, I don't think it was supposed to stick to his skin.
No,
I'll be honest.
not at all.
Twitch Charlie is waving at you.
Bye, Charlie.
Balls Mahoney 3D through the fire table. I mean, we can also go Edge and Mick Foley through the fire table.
Mick Foley.
You know? Or when Undertaker chokeslammed fucking Spike Dudley out of the ring. And you know what Spike didn't do? Bust himself open. It was like, I'm bleeding out crazy. The rant 3, 2, 1. Hepatitis. Laughing my motherfucking ass off at Red Dog. I'm held to a golden standard. Yes, you are. It's literally in your last name. Sandman, before he even started the match. Again, Sandman, ECW, Extreme Championship Wrestling. Guess what he wasn't doing when he was in WWE? Wasn't doing the same thing.
You're right. They did stop him. It's funny because he did. There was a point in the beginning. He was still doing the can.
Yeah.
And then he stopped and like randomly.
Yep.
You're right. I do remember that.
They ended that quick.
I was going to go there because he did it the first time. And then they're like, well, we already have a beer chugging guy.
Yeah.
His name's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He said, so obviously this is this comment right here, right? Women bleed every month. And then I was going to go there or I wasn't going to go there. Dean laughing. Blood cells. It does, but to an extent,
it does.
To an extent, though, it does become repetitive, and it seems like you're just trying to grab ratings, and no one wants to pay attention to that.
Matt Cardona.
You know what's crazy though is you notice he also got away from that whole thing too.
Yep.
Yeah, but he does bring it back every once in a while, and that's when we pop for it, and that's why he didn't get over.
Okay.
How many people did Lawler set on fire?
A lot. A lot. That's all we're gonna go with.
He said someone needs to be let out for their walk. Fuck you, Dean.
See, there he goes starting shit, but we're not allowed to.
On that note, thank you for checking out this edition of the 3 Count Podcast, Chaz and Friends. My PlayStation users, you get a trophy. My Xbox users, you get an achievement. Damien is your dumbass of the week. There is no other choice. Yeah. Thank you for checking us out, though. We'll be back next week. We're debating who's the face of the WWE Women's Division, Rhea Ripley or Bianca Belair. That'll be topic 1 straight off, like right there, boom. So since Cliff really
suck a bag of dicks, Dean.
Oh my gosh! Oh my god!
We still get a lot of these comments in here too. Sabu, hold on. Sandman and Sabu didn't get over in WWE because they weren't allowed to be Sabu and Sandman. Sabu was definitely over.
Sabu was over.
Sabu was over, yeah, because
they didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah, they didn't know. But and I'll say this: Sandman though, like because he had to change up his gimmick and stuff like that. Like, yeah, there was already somebody in there like doing the thing that he was doing in ECW. So he was just a dude with a cane at that point. Like,
yeah.
So I love it. And then smiles. All right, man. Yeah, you already said your thing.
Yeah. Peace out. Next week, this week, now into the ring 201. Now into the ring, Villains Lounge, possibly. Yeah, run it. Get it off of here. Get this out of here before y'all go take this beef on Twitter. Go on Twitter and tell. Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of the 3 Count Podcast. If you like this and you want more 3 Count Podcasts, go on over to our YouTube page, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell button so you never miss when we put out a video. Also, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, all things social media, 3 Count Pod _ X, 3 Count Pod, everything else. Also, make sure you buy our merch at foryourwear.com and prowrestlingtees.com. Also, you know what? Just watch another video right now. Like, right now, I'm gonna walk away and you're gonna play another video. Now.